Hello everybody, in this lesson I will deal with exponential expressions where there's terms, in other words plus and minuses separating the terms. I will do a few examples and I will end with that one. Before we continue to the next type of sum on exponential expressions, there's something I need to show you first. We call this factorize by taking out a common factor in exponents. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to take out 2 to the n as a common factor. But this 2 to the n minus 1 poses a problem. So what you do, you write the 2 to the n minus 1 back into its original form. So you write it as 2 to the n times 2 to the negative 1. And now you can pull out 2 to the n as a common factor. But you must be very careful. When you take out 2 to the n as a common factor, you're not left with nothing, you're left with a 1. Plus times, there you had 2 to the negative 1, so you're left with 2 to the negative 1. And then in your next step, 2 to the negative 1 is a half, and you can add 1 plus a half is 1.5. Therefore, the answer 2 to the n bracket 1.5. In the next example on the right here, your first problem is this 2 to the x plus 1. So you write it back into its original form as 3 times 2 to the x times 2 to the 1 plus 5 times 2 to the x. And now you take out 2 to the x as a common factor, and then you're left with bracket 3 times 2 plus 5. And then 3 times 2 is 6 plus 5, which is 11. And the final answer, 2 to the x times 11. The second type of exponential expression that I want to show you is expressions with a plus and a minus separating the terms. So what you're going to do here is you will need your previous knowledge from the previous slide, where you're going to take out a common factor. So first of all, this first term, the 5 to the 1 plus 2x, that one you split up into 5 to the 1 times 5 to the 2x, and the minus 3 times 5 to the 2x writes with. And then here on the denominator, the 25, you will write that one as 5 squared, or rather 5 to the 2x times 4. You leave the times 4, you cannot do anything with that. And now you're going to pull out on the numerator 5 to the 2x as a common factor. So when you take out 5 to the 2x, you're left with bracket 5 minus 3, everything over 5 to the 2x times 4. In the next step, you can say 5 to the 2x cancels with 5 to the 2x, and you're left with on top on the numerator with 5 minus 3, which is 2, and at the denominator you're left with 4. So you're left with 2 over 4, which simplifies to a half. In this example, you will recognize that it's an expression, exponential expression, and then the terms are being separated by plus and minus. So now you know this is where you're going to pull out a common factor. First of all, you have to split each and every term up into its original form, where this one was 3 to the 2x times 3 to the 2 plus, and then the second term over there, you will split it up into 3 to the 2x times 3 to the 1. Everything over. And then the first term at the denominator will be 3 to the 2x times 3 squared minus 3 to the 2x times 3 to the 1. Now on the numerator, we pull out 3 to the 2x as a common factor. And we're left with bracket 3 squared plus 3. And on the denominator, we pull out the 3 to the 2x as a common factor, and we're left with bracket 3 squared minus 3. And now we can say 3 to the 2x cancels with 3 to the 2x, and we're left on the numerator with 3 squared is 9 plus 3 over at the bottom 3 squared 9 minus 3. Therefore, it's 12 over 6, which simplifies to 2. In the next video, I will explain exponential equations. Click on the video in the left-hand corner to take you straight to the next lesson.